Thank you. Thank you for having me here at Umbraco. It's actually my second Umbraco Codegarden. And this is the presentation I will give. So basically, if you want to reach me or contact me afterwards, it's perfectly fine. You have my email address there, you can see. My talk today is going to be about how to power 500 plus websites using Umbraco. And many of you maybe think that this is a totally insane idea to have over 500 websites, and I can totally agree with you. Basically, the 500 websites has been generated during the last years, and we are actually in the coming years, or in the coming year, we are merging, so we are going down from 500 plus websites to fewer websites. Basically, for those of you who doesn't know, I work at Thomas Cook Northern Europe, and within the Thomas Cook group, we have companies called Spies, Ving, and Cherborg, and that are travel companies within the Nordic countries. Basically, these four companies have the same business model. Actually, we have the same customers. Not the same customers, but we have the same kind of customers. We have charter customers going to different countries. We have the same business model behind, so that when we are selling and preparing these trips, we do it in the same way in all the four countries. We have 1.6 million guests every year traveling with our companies, and we are a very profitable company. We mainly fly customers to the Greek and to Spain, and that's mainly Gran Canaria in the winter and Mallorca in the summer. And we have also Rhodes and Crete with lots of guests. And we are approximately 3,000 employees, and that spans from all the way to the staff in the destinations, to the IT department, and to managers and so on. I have a little quiz here in the beginning. Since we are in Denmark, I wonder how many of you know this guy? Okay, we have some. This is actually Simon Spies, who was the founder of the travel company Spies here in Denmark. He was a very famous guy and very eccentric in the 70s and 80s. Thomas Cook Northern Europe, we have a long experience in the travel industry. We have more than 50 years that we have been shipping customers to the different parts of the world for vacation. And here we have some images from that. We also have in the bottom, in the right corner, we have a store. And I will tell you later on that we don't have any stores anymore, but this is our history. Then we also have Thomas Cook Group, which is the mother company of Thomas Cook Northern Europe. I will be talking a little bit about Thomas Cook Northern Europe and a little bit about the Thomas Cook Group, but my main focus will be on the Nordic business. Thomas Cook Group is the oldest and best known name in the leisure travel, and it's been around since the mid-1800s. It operates from 17 source markets in Europe, and it's in the Nordics. We have the UK, continental Europe with Germany, Poland, France, Belgium, Netherlands, and so on. 20 million customers travel with us annually, and we have 22,000 full-time employees. We also own an airline, which is a part of the company right now, and that's really good because then we can control the whole trip, so we can both manage the destinations and we can control and fill the airplanes as best as we can. The company is, the UK company is also listed in the stock exchange. Here we have a map of where we can see one of our biggest competitive points are that we have lots of experience, and we also have a lot of hotel chains that are branded. It's like a franchise chain. We have, I will come to that later, but mainly these hotels are in the Mediterranean area, and also in the winter we have some in Gran Canaria as well. So this is basically where the customers go. We have mainly in the Mediterranean. And also here we can see a chart of where the customers go. It's the Canaries and Mallorca and Greece. The different brands we have, Thomas Cook is a mother company, then we have Ving, Spies and Cherboy, we have the airlines, and then we have the hotel chains, which are the ones that are using all these websites. Skip that one. This is one of the most interesting slides. Maybe this is to show how we have gone from, on the left side, we have the green dotted line. You can see how many travel brochures we printed to 2005. It was around 6 million catalogs that we printed and sent out to all the customers. Now we have transformed that and gone from printed, we have gone to digital. But we also print some small presentation materials and some magazine that we send out to the customers. The other interesting part, let's see here, is the one here, the blue one. In 2004, we had approximately 100 stores in the Nordic companies across Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland. And that was 100 stores that we owned ourselves. So we had staff in there. And now this chart goes to 2017, and then we actually had 3 retail stores. Now it's 2019, and we have 0 retail store. So basically all of what we are selling, we are selling it online. We can also see that the online sales has gone from 17% up to 80%. And when I started in Thomas Cook in 1997, we actually had 0 online sales. So it's been kind of a digital transformation. And this digital transformation, it has happened when customers buy the trips, but it has not been when the customers come down to the destination, to our hotel or to our resort. We don't talk to them in a digital way. We still have the papers, and you have to go to the reception to sign up and everything. And that is what we are trying to change now. The customer is changing their behavior. As you know, today a lot of booking takes place online. If you want to buy like the tickets to the cinema, if you want to buy reserve a table at a restaurant or anything, it's very rarely that you send them a regular paper mail or call them or anything. You always try to book or reserve anything online. And this behavior is something that our customers already have, and that is what we are trying to adapt to in the destination. We have something called the customer journey. And that is, we have different phases. We have the dream phase, where the customer dreams of where they're planning their vacation or where should I go, and so on. Then they have the planned vacation. Then they look at, okay, I want to go these dates. And then they actually go online and book the trip. Then it takes maybe some days or a year or months. And then they actually are going away on the holiday, and then they depart. And all of these steps, the dream phase, it's digital because they can go to our websites, to the selling websites, and can read about the trips and read about the hotel and the destination and everything, and see maybe 360 images or movies or film clips or anything. So that is digital. The booking, of course, is also digital step. The departure, some of that is digital as well, because when you want to check in to the airplane, then you have a digital check-in today. You always get like a lot of communication from us, because we want to inform you about everything you can do in the resort and the holiday, and you will get the ticket maybe in a PDF or anything. So that is digital as well. The team I'm leading, that is called Digital in Destination, and it focuses on this part, because this part is not digital today. We have some digital services, because when the customer buy the trip online, we want the information from the booking system to go down to the hotel. So that, of course, is sent through either FTP or like a PDF, and then the hotel takes the PDF or the text file and enter it into their backend system. So it's kind of digital. But we want to approach and to communicate with the customer and do more digital business with them when they are in the resort. Because there has been some there have been reports that half of the money that the customers spend are spent when they are in the resort and not before. So half of the money that they spend on the trip are spent before they buy the trip, and then the other 50% they spend when they are in the resort, when they like go to restaurants or they book excursions or they buy takeaway or food or whatever. So it's a big challenge to try to make that more online and like in an e-commerce flow. Here we have a basic. How many of you have been on a charter package trip, like going to Mallorca? So it's some of you. It's very common in the Nordic market that you go to like 1 or 2 trips every year. You go to Gran Canaria or Mallorca or Crete or whatever. And basically, if you the majority of our customers are a lot of them are families, and this is kind of a short list on how the journey proceeds. So basically, you go up early in the morning, you wake up the kids, then you feed them, put them in the car, you drive to the airport, leave the car in the parking, you check in, you go on the flight, then you arrived in the destination, you collect the bag, you have to find the correct bus. In the bus, then you get transferred to the hotel. Then you stand in line in the hotel reception to get the key. And basically, then if you go to Gran Canaria, then the flight time is 6.5 hours, and then you add like 3 or 4 hours before for taking care of that business, and then you add like when you get down to the resort, when you get off the bus, then the kids are like, okay, I want to go to the pool right now. And then it's like, no, we have to wait in the reception and get the key and everything. So these are basically the travel journey. And we try to find the pain points in this flow and try to remove as many as possible or make it easier for the customer to experience the trip. So basically what we are doing, for some of these parts, for like the check-in flow at the airport, basically we have an app so that you can check in online instead of having to stand in line on the airport. So then you can check in through the app and you can drop the bags like the night before or the same day. And then we also try to, we have had a project that I will be talking a little bit later, that when you arrive in the hotel, instead of waiting in line in the reception to get the plastic card for your door, then you can actually download a digital key into the app and you can go directly from the bus to the hotel room, so you don't have to go to reception. And then also we are trying to look at like when you arrive in the airport and you want to find your bus, your transfer bus, we are looking also at how can we make it easier for the customer to know, okay, I'm leaving with this bus, so they don't have to stand in line to talk to a rep. Yeah. Basically, we have made some, we have looked into this, and we have found that basically these are the digital channels that our customers use today. So 5% of the customers, and this is when they are in the resort or in the destination when they are traveling, 5% of them are using the website where they book the trip. So it's actually like Ving, Spies or Shareboy site, 5% of them. 45% of the customers are using our companion app that is available for Android and iOS. And that's a really good channel as well, because if they have installed the app, they can use that one for checking in, and I will talk about and show that a little bit later. And then also we have something called the digital in destination, and that is actually these 500 websites that I will present a little bit later. So 50% of the customers, they don't want to download an app for this. They basically want to use a web page instead. So, and I don't think it's possible for us to force the customers to use our app, to download an app, and some people don't have access to an Android or iPhone. So this is basically, and we also have when a customer books a trip with Thomas Cook, with one of our companies, they actually log in, so we have their details, their contact details, and that's also possible to use inside our companion app. And also when they arrive in the resort, they have a possibility to log in when they are in a hotel. They can log in on the hotel webpage and actually see, we know who the customer is, and then they can start to use that like as an itinerary for planning the the stay. Yeah, and this is, we need to be available 24/7 with online services for our traveling customers because the customers expect us to be online, but we are not really there yet. We are starting to be more online when they are in the destination. The big challenge we had, like, I think could be like more than 12 years ago, because all the information we had for the customers when they got down to the hotel or the destination, that was in binders. So we actually had to print binders at the start of every season. We printed binders with new and updated information about the excursions, about how to travel by car or by ordering a taxi or anything. And that information needed to be printed in all the 4 languages, and we also have, like, in UK we have, like, in English, and then we have the continental Europe as well. So it was a lot of printing to be done before every season, and then of course they printed it in the destination management office. And then they had to distribute it to every hotel that we had. And in some of the destinations in Gran Canaria, we have like several hundred hotels. So it was a lot of driving around. And actually, when we are transforming this into a digital business, then we will save the cost for printing these binders and like driving around to every hotel. And it will also have a better effect on the environment because we are not driving around changing papers. So it's like every season we have a winter season and like a summer season, and that saved approximately 7,500 internal work hours for the staff. And of course, when something changes in the destination, then we have to like print it and drive out with the page to all the hotels. So the solution to this one is like we have created My Hotels, we call it, and My Destination. And that's actually, if you're buying a trip with Ving, Spies or Cherbourg, then you can buy also one of our branded hotels. And then when you arrive in that branded hotel, each hotel have their own small microsite. So when you come to the hotel and you connect to the Wi-Fi, because all the hotels have free Wi-Fi, all the branded hotels have free Wi-Fi and really good Wi-Fi. And then when you connect to the Wi-Fi, then you are automatically redirected to the hotel microsite. And this is also we have for the My Destination, which we started to roll out last year. We have the same approach, but the My Sites are for customers that are not going to the branded hotel. So it's, if you buy another hotel and you fly there, then you can use the My Destination sites for the different destinations. And these are actually like 350 sites now, and that is because we have, if we look at like My Mallorca, we have My Mallorca in Swedish, Danish, Finnish, Norwegian, English, German, French, Dutch, and Belgian as well. And the Belgian site is in both, I'm not sure, but they have 2 languages and one is French. So that's actually, and here we put all the information we had in the paper binders, we put on these sites. And they are managed also by the hotels. And I will get into that shortly. The My Hotel sites actually exist in our branded hotels. So they are branded, it's 5 branded, you can say that it's like 5 different hotel chains. So we have OBC, Sunwing, Sunprime, Sunconnect, and Sentido, and they are directed to different customer types. So Sunwing, for instance, I think maybe one of you have gone to Sunwing here, if you have kids, probably, then it's like, it's a family hotel. Sunprime is like the same kind of hotel, but without kids. And Sunconnect is, it's another chain, and Sentido as well. So we have 5 different brands, and then we have to like, we have created a uniform platform, but we have developed kind of different layout on the web pages because the brand managers want them to look a little bit different. But we have the same structure behind. And these sites are for all customers staying in the hotel. We don't only have like Nordic customers. We have customers from all of the markets here. So that's it. And on these web pages, basically it started up as like a replacement for binders. So we only had information about the resort and the destination. It was only text, but then some years ago, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, because on every Sunwing and Sunprime, for example, it's possible to book activities. A lot of these hotels are based around activities. So if you go to Sunwing, for example, you can leave your kid in the Miniland, and then they can like paint a T-shirt or go to Lulumburni birthday party, and they are there for an hour. So it's like not babysitting, but it's a really good service that we provide, and we have lots and lots of these activities. And the thing that 3 years ago, we actually, the guests, when they wanted to sign up for these activities, because lots of the activities are required to sign up, then you had to walk to the reception or call the reception, and then you have to write on a paper, my kid's name is this, and she's of this age, and allergies, and all of that stuff. And 3 years ago, we changed this and built a really simple booking flow for this. So now we actually, I think we sign up approximately 100,000 activities per year on these hotels. And it's also easier for the staff because they can manage all this from within Umbraco. And I will go into that a little bit later. Also, we are adding on more services. Actually, we have in every hotel, we have a spa for like massage and different treatments. And then we are adding on so you can book a massage online through when you're sitting in your sunbed or in your hotel room or anything. And then also we are adding on lots of other activities, like we are looking at, so it's possible to order like food or a takeaway or that stuff. Also, we have on these websites, we have an online chat. So it's possible if you're in the hotel, you can chat with the reception if you want anything. If you don't want to call or don't want to go there, you can sit in your sunbed through the mobile phone and chat with the reception. And then that chat is taken care of by the reception staff. So we just do a short demo here on how the web pages look. So this is basically the wrong screen here. Let's see. So basically, this is an Umbraco web page, and we have these small boxes which contain information, and then we also have the incoming activities, which are also populated from Umbraco, and then we have a picture flow, which is from Instagram API. And basically, the first information we had here was like, good to know, and it's possible to look at, okay, I want to know how much does it cost to rent a bike or to clean my clothes or whatever. So here you can find the information. And all this information is edited and managed by the hotel. And here we have the holiday planner as well. And here you can see that we have lots and lots of activities that takes place every day. So these yellow boxes, these are the ones that you can book. The other are like just drop-in activities, you don't have to book them. So here you can click, if you're in the sunbed, you can click book, and then you're asked to log in, and that's possible if you have booked the trip through Ving. Then you can log in with your Ving account and start to collect like in an itinerary, so you can see all the activities you booked for the week. And then you fill in the first name, last name for this yoga, and then you click book, and then it's entered into the Umbraco backend. So then the staff in the hotel can see who has booked what trips. And then it's possible also to have like, because all these activities, they are the allotment, or it's like you can be 10 places or 20 or whatever. So it's possible to control that one as well. And then we also have like a lot of other information to read. Let's see if we can take this away. Nope. Here we go. And then we have the My Destination that we started because not all of our customers go to the branded hotels. So then we created lots of websites. We are up now to approximately 300 websites. And during the coming year, we'll merge them, so we will not have as many websites. And this is because we started with like My Mallorca for Ving, and then we added My Mallorca for Cherbourg and for Spies, and then we were up to 3. And then we added like UK and Belgium and Germany, and then we are up like to 10 sites for Mallorca. And we are looking to merge them into to fewer websites. The Umbraco history within Thomas Cook are that these pages, the My Sites we created, they are in 2007 we started to do them by HTML. Then we started using an internal system that was called Web Admin that was like created for the e-commerce websites. We started to use that system, but then we wanted to have the hoteliers or to the reception staff to manage the system or manage the content, and it was not possible to give them access to this internal e-commerce system. So then we started to look around for new CMSs, and we looked into like WordPress and to Episerver and other stuff. But since Thomas Cook is mainly a .NET developing company, or the IT department develop mostly, I think it's like almost everyone is developing in .NET, then we didn't have too much options. We had the Episerver installation within Thomas Cook since '97. We actually had the first live Episerver installation in the world. For our intranet. We also looked into Episerver around, I think it was like 2007 or something. Oh, never mind. And then we found Umbraco, because if we wanted to use Episerver, then we had to pay like the license for every single domain. And if you take like, it wasn't 500 at that time, but it's 500 now. And if it was like, I think we had like 80 or 70 or 80 hotel sites. And that times the Episerver fee was a little bit too much to handle. Then we found Umbraco 7 and installed it, and it like worked out of the box magically. So we have been using Umbraco ever since. We are on Umbraco 7. I think we are upgrading or migrating or how you do it to Umbraco 8 this year, because the language support looks really great. Then, of course, also since we have been using, when we started to use Umbraco for the My Sites, we thought they worked really well. And we also had, like for the e-commerce website that were selling the trips, we had this old CMS that was built by ourselves. And when the webmasters saw Umbraco, they said, okay, can't we use this for the e-commerce websites? And then we started to try that out. So we actually have implemented Umbraco and are using that one in the e-commerce websites as well. And then we have a couple of other websites that we're using Umbraco on. We have a B2B portal where our company talks to other travel agencies that sell our trips. And then we also had a training, like a training extranet for our staff, because we have like Ving School, where we train the staff for being in the destination, and for fitness staff, and for Miniland and so on. And we also are using Umbraco for that. The staff structure in resort and hotels, in the hotels, we have in the hotel we have like people working in the reception. We have activity staff, and that is the staff that are working with the children in Miniland, and we also have the training staff, and that are the ones that are doing the yoga classes and bootylicious and all of that stuff. So these are basically the ones that we need. They wanted to update information and to get access to the information. And then in the destination, which is the other part, we have like one super user, and then in destination we have the destination staff that are managing the content as well. So basically, when we start up a new hotel, staff is recruited, because we don't have the same staff every season. Some of them travel around and stay within the company, but some leave and some come. So we have like a lot of newcomers coming to the company. So basically, when we want to set up a new website for a destination or a hotel, then we take an existing website and then we copy that one with the existing content, so that we have two websites that look the same, and then we hand this website over to our content team in Stockholm, and they like change the images so they align with the correct hotel and destination, and they also start to edit the information, and then we hand it over to destination manager or to the hotel. And then basically we give training to the hotel staff or to the destination staff on how to use Umbraco, and it takes not more than like 1 hour, and then they are ready to go. So it's really easy to get a destination or a hotel up and running with Umbraco. And then we have some other features also in the sites. We have like a chat, and we have Instagram flow, and we have a spa booking system and all of that, and that are trained to the specific staff that needs this information. So basically this is within Umbraco, the backend. So basically we have divided everything in Umbraco. Everything is built on Umbraco core functionality, so we are creating folders and different document types and different document templates. So basically we have like a concept root. In this case it's Sunwing at the top in green. I don't know if you can see it, but in there we collect all the different Sunwing sites. So each hotel site have their own route. And when staff logs in from like a hotel in Gran Canaria, like for instance Sunwing Arginegin, they log in, and then their content home route is Sunwing Arginegin, and they can only see their hotel, so they cannot see the rest. This view is for the administrator, so I can see like everything. So we have divided it into different brands for this one. And also, sometimes we have a kind of lower structure, so the staff in Miniland, they are only administering the activities in the holiday planner, and then we have set there, so they log in with a special account, so they can only see the holiday planner and change things there, so we don't end up with people changing content in the wrong place. Because we have to bear in mind that these people that are working with the system, they are not really IT persons or content managers or webmasters or whatever. They are in the reception taking care of people, like giving them keys and signing in and out. So this webmaster, this small webmaster job they are doing, we have to make it as simple as possible. Then regarding the media folder, we have approximately the same structure, that we have a master folder where we have all the content that are shared between the concepts, and then we also have like a concept folder with all the Sunwing images and all the SunPrime images and so on. And beneath that we also have, if there are certain images that only belong to one hotel, then that is kept within that folder. We have also noticed that it's very good to keep, because if for some reason all the accounts are managed by a super user in Stockholm, so when a new hotel is created, then they have to request like credentials, and then we give them a login, and then they can log in and edit their details, and they can also edit their content. Sometimes it's been like we have added webmasters or content editors that have had too much credentials, or they have had access to too much of the website. And then we notice that when they upload images that are new, they can upload images, and then they end up like in the wrong structure. So you have to like watch out for content that are created so that it end up in the correct place. Otherwise, it will be a total mess, and you will have to clean up. We have the activities, which is like one part of Umbraco that is it's a content type that is custom made to fit our needs, and that is managed by the fitness and the Miniland, and we have the same content for fitness activities and for Miniland activities. And they have full access to creating new activities or editing or removing activities. And we like to keep it as simple as possible, and also not add too many fields when creating activities, because then it will be messed up. And also we have noticed also that if you have, I think we have like 20 fields on every activity, and from the beginning almost all of the fields were like free text. The content were not structured, so they could write whatever in the bar. So if they wanted to like write the name of an activity, because for instance, in all Sunwings, we have an activity called Lulu and Bernie birthday party. The problem was at the beginning, it was possible for all the hotels to write their own description of this. So some wrote Lulu and Bernie party, some wrote Lulu and Bernie mini party birthday. So we ended up with like a lot of different text, and it was also difficult to track this. So when we wanted to know, okay, how many booked this Lulu and Bernie mini birthday party this year, then it was impossible because we had no like common name for this. So then we actually created like something called master data, and then we created this in a separate folder in the root, and that was one master administrator that could create all these activities, and then we made a drop-down list, so the hotel can only pick from these activities. So that made it a lot more easy. So that was the master data. And then also, when we are developing new features, it's very easy when you're adding features or adding fields that you forget to like remove the old properties that you have in the page, and that can be confusing. So it's very good also to like every half year to look at, okay, what properties do we have in the document template, and remove those that are not used anymore. Because it's really easy. If you have like a team of webmasters working on the page, then they know exactly what properties they can use and what not to use. But if you're using this system and you distribute it to the hotels, then there's a new person maybe every season that comes down and knows, okay, what fields can I use? So it will have to be like really structured, and you can only display those fields that they should use. One other thing that we were a little bit worried about was the user management. And that is because when we started these sites, we had like 70 or 80 hotels, and then we thought, okay, maybe it's not possible to have all the users, because we didn't know how many users we could add to Umbraco before it would become really slow or hard to like work with, to administer and to keep track of. So we actually had like Sunwing and Sunprime, we had in one Umbraco instance, and then we added, when we started the Sentido chain, we actually created a new Umbraco instance, because we didn't want all the Sentido users inside the Umbraco tree. So then we actually created two Umbraco instances. But now we will merge, so we will have only one structure. And user management it's kind of hard to. I would love to have like a tree where you could make like boxes for each concept, so you can add like, have the Sentido users within one box, and then some Ving users in one box. So that's something that we want to look into and see if it's possible to make it more easy to administer. Basically, when we create user accounts, it's the super user in Stockholm that does that. And they create one account for the reception, one for Miniland, and one for fitness. And I think we have around 350 user accounts now in all the concept hotels. And also I can say that we are not working anything with the permissions within Umbraco. So we don't like look at a certain page or a node or anything and set permissions for that one. We are controlling everything with the start node, and then actually they can have access to anything, so they can delete and delete and create new things in anywhere. And I think we started using permissions once, and then it became very hard to keep track on what permissions were on which node, so we skipped that one. So, small demo in the backend. Oh, there. No. Sorry, I'm having problems moving this window here, left, right, here. here you go. So basically here we have the backend, we have the master folder, we have the Ving concept root here, and here we have the different hotels. So each receptionist, when they log in, they end up in their hotel. And then also, since we have like hotels that are open in the summer and hotels that are open in the winter, we basically have a feature saying closed for the season. When a hotel closes for the season, then we check this small slider checkbox, and then actually the holiday planner are removed, and all of those features that are that need to be taken care of during the season, they are removed from the web page. So it goes down into some kind of just showing information about the hotel, no bookable features or anything. And then we also have like the holiday planner is the main part here. And if you're a training or mini-land stuff, then you have access to only the holiday planner. So here you can see on Monday you can log in and you can see all the activities that are here. And then you can like meet and greet with Lulu and Bernie. And here we have all the data that you can set. And if an activity should be bookable, then you only like enter the allotment on how many this activity can take care of. It's like meet and greet. It could be 10 people. And when you save this, then the activity is bookable right away on the web page. And then we have some other functionality with categories and different stuff. It's also possible to add a price. And then that price will be added to when the mini-land staff gets the list, because you're able to print list from this to get all the kids that are in the class, and then you can like add it to the hotel system for billing later. Let's see here if I should. Some things to keep in mind. Keep it really simple. Even if there is a really good Umbraco manual. We wrote our own manual because we only want the staff to know how to take care of the things that we know. We don't want them to have like the whole complete Umbraco manual. So we wrote our own manual. Keep it updated. Give good support is good, and listen to the staff on the hotel when they're using the web page, what they want to do and how to develop it further. Umbraco is a standard CMS, and we are keeping it as simple as possible, keeping all the standard functionality and not extending it too much, because when upgrading from like 6 to 7, it was really big hassle because we have done some custom things that really were hard to migrate. Yeah, and then multi-language is a pain for us because we are using duplicated content right now. We are really looking forward to Umbraco 8 because we have sites, and this goes to this merging of 500 websites down to fewer. Then we want to have like one my Mallorca site, and then we have like one UK part and one Nordic part and one German part. This is a tech conference, so here are some of the techniques or some stuff that we're using when we are developing this. The sites are hosted on-premise in Stockholm in our own web farm. We are looking at cloud solutions, Azure or similar in the future, but we are not doing this right now. It will be for the future. Basically, here's a short slide about the Umbraco is the kind of the green or the blue-greenish part in the middle. We have My Destination, which is one Umbraco instance, Sunwing, Sunprime, SunConnect, one instance, Sentido. Then we also have the key creator admin, which is used, I will show in a few seconds here, which are used by the digital keys. And then we have an activity booking for the websites as well. And then we are also integrating to the systems below, which are like the key creator, activity bookings we have in a separate database. We also have connections to the different hotel systems for sending and retrieving customer data when we want to manage users. All the data about the bookings we are adding into our data warehouse for analyze. Then also we have like text admin which is like a text system for the e-commerce websites, which we want to use for this in the future as well. And lots of different other systems, like Product Bank for selling excursions. And then a software as a service, SimplyBook, which we are using for booking spa treatments and stuff. And then we have chat tools as well. I don't know if I have that much time left, but anyway, we have a companion app that is downloaded lots of times, and many people are using, many of the customers. In the Nordics, 69% of the branded hotels, guests or customers are using the companion app or downloading it before the trip and under the trip, during the trip. Also, some of the functionality that we have in the My Sites, like the holiday planner, we are building stuff inside the companion app in the Android and iOS app, so that we can use data from Umbraco, pulling activities from the hotel into the companion app. So when a guest is in the hotel, they can use like a more refined calendar for booking, and then they can go on the web page as well. But if they have the app, then we pull the data from Umbraco. And then in the app, of course, you can book a trip, you can see current offers, you can also have a lot of other information, and you can do check-in on the airplane. And here we have the holiday planner, which has the same view as the web page, but in a native format, so it's easier to like swipe and stuff. And then we of course have the boarding pass, and also for the companion app, which are our iOS and Android app that are developed for the Nordics and for the UK market. I think we have had it for like 5 or 6 years, and in the beginning when starting up that app project, we built our own CMS called JSON Admin. That was just an administrative interface for administering JSON files or JSON data. Now we are switching because some parts of it, we added all the information like the text and the images and stuff that were presented in the app. But of course, this custom-built CMS was not so easy for the webmasters to use, and since they were using Umbraco already for the e-commerce websites, we have pulled out information from here that the webmasters are using, so we are now pulling that data from the e-commerce Umbraco system. We still have some information within this internal CMS for like config parameters and stuff. And then another part where we are using Umbraco are our digital key. That's basically a test project we did like 2 years ago. We took one hotel, 26 rooms, and we had the companion app, and then we wanted to see if it was possible to have the customers download their digital key into the app and go to the door and open it themselves instead of going to the reception getting a plastic key. So we actually had a test and it worked really good. So we are rolling out this to 2 hotels. This was the pilot in Crete, in Makrialos. We are actually rolling it out to 2 hotels this summer, and it works really well. Here we have just a small slide of how key creation takes, how it can be to create keys. I don't know if it's really interesting, but it's a really complex system. And Umbraco is the hotel info stuff up here. And then we have connections to the app and to Assa, who creates the digital keys. And also we have an integration to the hotel system locally in Crete and in Cyprus. And then of course the digital keys are created automatically, so basically the hotel staff, when they are using this system, they only have to do as they did before. When they take guests and assign it to a room, then the key will be automatically created in the backend. But then of course sometimes strange things happen. There can be technical errors, or there could be errors with the guest's mobile phone. Then we have built a system within Umbraco. We have Umbraco as a container where you can log in and see an arrival date, and you can see the digital keys and see if everything has gone according to plan. Also, since we also added a feature, so because all the guests, when they arrive, it's not possible to have all the rooms ready in time for the guest to arrive. So from here, the house keeper, the cleaning staff in the hotel, they print list from this, so they say, okay, this guest has signed up for a digital key, then we have to prioritize their room. So they get a list of the rooms they should clean first. And hopefully this will be digital in the future. But this has been done within Umbraco, so it will be easier in the future to move this from a separate system into the My Destination, since that is also managed by the hotel. Yeah, full rollout summer 19 to Cyprus and Crete. Let's see, and here's a small video which we can skip. Yeah. Then we have a couple of other websites. We have this Thomas Cook School, which we have like the Ving Service School, Fitness School, Show School, and Contact Center School. And that's actually every spring we have in Mallorca or in Cyprus, we have for the fitness school, I think it's like 2 weeks when they gather all the new fitness stuff and they go through all the training on how to perform the different classes every year. And then before we had all the information scattered around, like it was Facebook pages and it was SharePoint and it was Google Docs and everything. And then they came to us and said, can't we use like another system so that we can gather everything in one place? And then we created this Umbraco website with the different schools in, and it's been really good. And then the staff that we are training, they get a login to this one, so it's kind of an extranet. Then we also have the partner websites, which are the business to business, because we have lots of retail that are not our own, but are like Ticket or Rese or other companies that sell our trip. We need a way to communicate with them, and then we have for Norway and for Sweden we have something called the partner web, and that's also built in Umbraco. And then of course we have the e-commerce websites, which where all the money come from right now. And we have been using Umbraco for, I think it's like 1 or 2 years. And hopefully my dear colleague Ted Lindholm can come back next year and talk about how we have used Umbraco inside these ones, because it's really fantastic. And these ones are like the engine of the company. So yes. And of course we are hiring. So if you want to develop for us in Stockholm, just contact me or look up our website. So that's all for me, I think.